Hello, this is Dr. Kevin Connors, and welcome to Module 5. Call this Programming Your Right, but really we're going to talk about other technologies a little bit as well. We'll actually have some other videos, not just on the RIFE, but on other technologies on the site soon as well. So if you can't find them, make sure you come back and we'll get those up as soon as possible. But always, the practice of medicine is trying to use more and more technology. As technology becomes available, we want to use it. But when you search cancer technologies out there, you're going to hear about different robotic surgeries. You're going to hear about bone marrow transplant, targeted therapy, immunotherapy. These are all medical technologies, and they can be very good. And they can be very hard on your body as well. That's what we're talking about. So from an alternative perspective, we're not talking about using these kind of things on this slide. We're talking about using specific therapies. So I speak about a lot of those different therapies in my book. On our website, we speak about a lot of those different therapies. Hyperthermia is a great therapy to help stimulate bile flow and liver detoxification. It can help decrease pain. It can help specifically kill cancers that are near the surface, like certain breast cancers and even skin cancer. So hyperthermia is raising the temperature of the tissue to a point where it's safe for healthy, normal cells, but for cancer cells that are, you could say, more fragile, increasing the temperature of that cancer cell can literally cause cell lysis. That's a type of pathological death that we want to take place in a cancer cell. So hyperthermia is one of those technologies. PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, is another therapy. That isn't really a cancer-killing therapy, but it can help with other side effects from cancer therapies or the cancer itself, with pain or just lack of energy. What a PEMF unit does is adds a charge of electricity to your body in a pulsed fashion, like I'm talking like this, because it's giving you this boom, boom, boom electrical charge, which all your cell membranes have an electrical charge. So by adding this pulsed electromagnetic field charge to your cells, it can really help boost fatigue levels, energy levels, can strengthen healthy cells, can strengthen your immune system, and indirectly then be good to help kill cancer cells. But I wouldn't say it's a cancer-killing therapy. But if you have access to a PEMF, cancer patients do really well. It adds to your whole protocol in body health. So PEMF therapy is a great addition. Plus, we like to use it with patients that may have metastasis to the bone, and have pain because of that, because probably the number one use of PEMF worldwide is really for pain. For people with chronic pain or a knee injury or back injury, PEMF really shines for that. So certainly with metastasis or pain from your cancer for any reason, PEMF can be very beneficial. Of course, if you've watched any of my information, the RIFE machine is really big in my book. That's how I got started taking care of cancer patients, is because of this love for this RIFE machine that God put in my heart way back in the 1980s when I was in school. Boy, that seems like a long time ago now. I'm an old man. But the RIFE machine it's just a great tool. That's how I started taking care of patients with a cancer diagnosis. God really instilled in my heart this love of this RIFE machine. I just had this desire. It says in the book of Hosea that he will put his desires in your heart. He will give you the desires of your heart. And I read that as God will put his desires in your heart. And he certainly put that desire about RIFE technology in my heart. First time I saw anything about Royal Raymond Rife and his work, I was intrigued. And before I purchased my first machine, I had investigated the types of RIFE machines that were out there in the 90s, because that's when I was looking at them. I had I had called the company, had them send some information. This is before really the internet, and I had a pamphlet on the Rife machine that I was going to buy taped up to my desk on the wall in front of my desk at my clinic. And it wasn't until the late 90s when a patient came in and said she had breast cancer in both breasts, and they gave her 3 months to live if she didn't do chemo. She wasn't going to do chemo. That was my aha moment, my Holy Spirit moment to buy a Rife machine. Purchased a Rife machine. She came in daily and used it. That's when we did it in our office, and she lived another 13 years. So I don't take credit for that. I don't even give the Rife machine credit for that. Obviously, God is our healer. He's the one who kept that person alive and lived, years beyond what was expected. But I do give some credit to where God leads us. And the Rife machine is what he led me to. That is a big part of my purpose, is to help people with frequency. So what is the Rife machine? The Rife machine is using technology to our benefit. It is a hidden gem. It was really invented initially by Royal Raymond Rife, hence the name of it. But there's a lot of different Rife, quote-unquote, machines out there that I wouldn't call Rife machines. Because to me, if it's truly a Rife machine, it has to use light frequency. So if you're holding on to some little paddles, or you're putting little stickers on your body, or you're listening to an audio through headphones or something, it is frequency therapy and it is frequency healing. And I'm not discounting the benefits to that. But if you really want to help kill cancer cells, I think, my opinion, you need to use light frequencies. So Royal Raymond Rife is the inventor. He was a microscope manufacturer, and you can read all about him on our website. We'll put some links to different things about him on this site as well. But he is the one who, this was in the burgeoning of quantum physics and quantum mechanics, when the understanding went beyond Newtonian physics to an understanding that everything down to its smallest particle is simply energy that's vibrating at a specific frequency and a fairly unique frequency to that thing. So that's what makes that thing up, and that's really in the understanding of quantum physics is what Royal Raymond Rife came up with. If we could hit cancer cells at their own frequency, could we cause them to implode? Could we cause lysis, a pathological death of that cancer cell? That was his philosophy. He didn't have any way to prove that, though he could do it in a petri dish. Well, not everything works in the body the way it works in a petri dish, but he did have success with patients. And then the 1950s rolled around, and that's when the AMA was coming and confiscating any practitioner that was not using pharmacology. That's when all the cancer clinics in Mexico were birthed, because these people were run out of the country, Hoxsey and Gerson. Well, Rife just gave up the ghost because they confiscated his machines. And he ended up dying an alcoholic. Very sad situation. But his technology wasn't totally lost. The government used it during the Cold War to try to use it to create germs. So if we found the frequency for anthrax, could we hit somebody, run it on a Rife machine, hit somebody with the frequency of anthrax and cause anthrax? Well, the problem with that is it doesn't cause disease. If that person had anthrax, it would help their body kill anthrax. It doesn't cause anthrax. So it was scrapped into the Freedom of Information Act. All this money spent on mapping out the quantum physics frequency for thousands of diseases was made available to practitioners like me. So, and then you add that to the decades of work of different practitioners trying to figure out the frequencies of different cancers and what will work best for different cancers. We have come up with a lot of different frequencies for most every cancer there is. And that's the use of Rife today, using these frequencies to our advantage. Yes, his work was suppressed knowledge, and it really went into the dark ages in the 50s and the 60s. But when the 70s rolled around and people started reading about some of his stuff, practitioners like me, and a lot of people smarter than me started to create some different machines that had an advantage and could help people with cancer. The first machine I bought in the 90s was probably about a 50th time as powerful as the machines we use today. So as this knowledge advances and as technology advances, we're able to create better machines that are going to have a better effect on the body. So we use this machine right here, a TrueRife, in the office. We also use a GB4000, but this is the one that we use that we send home with patients, and this is the one that I really sell because of a couple factors. So when I analyze a type of Rife machine and what I want to use for myself or my patients, I look at a few different factors. Number one, is it powerful enough to produce energy out of that bulb that is going to penetrate my body to affect the cancer that's deep in my body? So there's a lot of Rife machines on the market, or machines that call themselves Rife machines, that do not do that. So they might have some effect on superficial things, but they're not powerful enough to penetrate your body. So, well, to me, what good is that? Secondly, does it use light frequency? I already talked about that. If you're not using light frequency for cancer, I think you're missing the boat completely. So it does have to have a Tesla tube, a gas-filled tube that's using light frequency to carry that wave through your body. And then thirdly, is it programmable? So, I mean, if there's just some programmed things with the machine, they may be good, they may be bad, but they're not necessarily going to be specific to me. So if it's not programmable for me, I don't want to use it because I want to get very specific to the frequencies that I want to run. So the GB4000 and the TrueRife are really the two that are left with that. And then lastly, is it really easy to use, and is it going to last a long time? So to me, that's where the TrueRife shines. I have no investment in this company, and I probably shouldn't even mention their name on here, but you can go to TrueRife and buy one of their machines. I have no problem with that. I think you should. I think everybody should have one. My kids have one that don't have cancer, so my grandkids can use it if they come down with a cold or anything like that. This is where the Rife machine shines. It shines on killing biotoxins. It shines on helping your body kill cancer cells, killing living things. That's where the Rife shines as a tool. You want to use any tool correctly. You don't use a hammer to pound in a screw. You don't use a screwdriver to pound in a nail. So you use tools as they're created. So this is where the Rife shines. We put on there's over 2,500 different programs, and then we get specific for that person's type of cancer. And I've written, doing this for 20-some years, I've written a program for just about every possible cancer there is. My cancer was extremely rare. There was 0 known frequencies for my cancer. And I actually struggled, and if you read on our website, about my personal experience, I really didn't think I was going to make it 3 years ago. I was pretty positive I wasn't, and there were some dark days there. But it wasn't until I figured out the frequency that worked for me that it really changed the corner and turned the corner for me, and why I'm speaking to you today. So I give Rife a lot of credit. I'm very thankful for what this man did in his work. I'm thankful for how God used him, even though he wasn't a believer. God still uses things to his and for his glory. That's my belief. So using the right frequencies is key. The TrueRife comes with about 2,500 other programs that I said, and then we specifically create a program for this specific cancer in that person, and you can purchase one of our programs. It wouldn't be specific to a cheek swab test, but it will be specific to your type of cancer, and that can be extremely beneficial. So it's all in the programming. It's all in the power of the machine. It's in the light frequency. It's in the ease of use of the machine. Of course, I'm really big pushing the Rife machine, but I don't need to make anything off it. Go buy it from TrueRife. I don't make anything for you doing that. So understand, I'm not trying to be biased, but my opinion is biased just because of what I've experienced and the way God has used me and how he's led me in my desires. I honestly don't think I'd be standing here talking to you today if it wasn't for the Rife machine. So I am very biased about it, but has been a blessing in my life and my family's life as well, and a lot of my patients. This is the machine. This is the bulb that we use. We use actually a crystallized bulb, which I think helps separate the light and give you even a better benefit as the cancer tries to morph and try to take off every way possibly it can. So we use the F122 with all our patients, and they sleep with this crystal hammer bulb. That's what it's called. It's encased in plastic, so if you drop it on a bed, and you can't break the thing. But you snuggle with it all night long. I snuggle with my bulb all night long, or it lays right next to me, and I use it every single night. So it is a great tool. So consider different technology as it comes up, but be wise. Don't just talk to one salesperson. I've tested just about every Rife on the market, and this is what I use. There's some other good ones too, and I'm not knocking any other products out there, but I just want to use the best thing for me and for my patients. I mean, I feel like that's my responsibility. So I'm not going to recommend something that I don't like, what I don't think works. But if new technology comes out, I guess I'd remake this video. So hope this is a blessing. Hope I don't sound salesy to you. I just want what's best for you. And I want you to do the best thing. And ultimately, I want you to be praying about every decision you make. Certainly don't go buy a Rife machine because I said it. Be praying about it. Be asking for that fruit of the Spirit, especially that peace and that self-control that you need as you're walking by his guidance, so that you know you're doing the right thing. All right, I'll be praying for you, and I covet your prayers for me and our clinic. Until next module, bye-bye.